Just like we have Earth Hour on 26th of March, last Saturday of March, where we switch off our lights and we introspect on the ecological balance and our relation with the nature. Just like that, can the United Nations declare 30 minutes of time where all around the planet people are just praying for the good of the world, just praying to raise universal consciousness? Does it look too lofty as an ideal? Does it look too foolish? Well, 2500 years back, there was one such time in this world where there were great people, people of outstanding character all around the world who completely shook the world. Around that time, we had in Greece, we had Socrates, we had Aristotle, we had Plotinus, Plato. In China, we had Lao Tzu, Chuang Tzu, Confucius. In India, we had Buddha, we had Mahavira, we had Makli Ghoshal, Sanjay Vilattiputra, Prabuddha Katyayan, and so many other illustrious saints in South India. So they completely shook the world. And most of the philosophies, the intellectual and spiritual philosophies we keep talking about, is actually coming from that timeline. So when it is about transforming the world and making the world a better place, there are two models. One is the Gandhian way, which is of individual purity and individual correctness, where if people all around the world, everyone in this planet, they become a better individual, it will naturally make the world a better place as a natural summation. But there is another way which Arvind used to talk about. Aurobindo, whose ashram is in Pondicherry in India, he used to talk about the idea that if a handful of people who are real seekers of life, who are into higher things, who are the spiritual giants, if they are able to raise their consciousness to the next level altogether, they have the power to carry masses around them with them. Just like in a sports team, on a given day, on a match day, not everyone is going to perform. There are going to be people who are out of form, who are not going to perform, but there will be people, a handful of people who will be outstanding performers on that day. And with their individual brilliance, with their sheer brilliance, they can carry their team through. Just like that. There are few people all around the world in different geographies who are not disturbed by the vagaries of the world, who are not affected significantly with the ebbs and flows of life, with the crests and troughs in life. So those people who are into higher things, who want to transcend to new levels of uh, consciousness, they can pull people in mass around them to those heights. Because today we have technology. What we are discussing can be broadcast to millions of people, but when Socrates was speaking, he could hardly speak to 10 to 15, 20 people at max. So can we just pray in mass for 15 minutes or 30 minutes all around the planet? I'm not sure about the time differential. At least half the planet can they do this, just like Earth Hour. Now, because when we are giving love, when we are praying just for the good of the world, we are not changing anything outside. We are actually transforming ourselves. When we just pray unconditionally, when we pray, that elevates us to new levels of our consciousness. So this is actually going to transform us. Prayer does not change any God. Prayer changes us. It transforms us. It makes us better and better. Because these days we are in different parts of the world, we are fighting on where we are going down to. No, this is not important. Where we are going down is not important. What is important is that we go down. We have such love. It's really not important what we are loving. It can be any person, it can be your pet, it can be your guitar. But the idea that love flows out from you, this is more important. Do you have love in you? Are you loving is the question. It's not a question that you are loving John, Mary, Peter, or a frog. So this is probably one idea which can be tried at least, because there is no harm. Just for 15 minutes, half the planet if they can just pray nothing with an uncluttered mind, they can just pray for the good of the world. That itself is going to really impact the consciousness of the planet, because this will going to transform us, and it will also make us more responsible, and in turn it's like it's also going to galvanize the spiritual current of this planet.